perfect day for watching and playing tennis.
Tout à l'heure, merci.
Good evening. The first day of June, of summer, of Roland Garros looking like its true self. Is something missing from Nadal at the moment?
That's a question I'm starting to wonder too, John, because we're just used to seeing him maybe have a little bit of a hiccup in a tournament early and then accelerate.
What's your take, Lindsay?
I have to agree with Jim, and he seems agitated. You normally don't hear a player complain about the schedule and playing back-to-back days and should have been scheduled before women because of the weather. He might have had a legitimate point, but most of the top players, when they are in the middle of a Grand Slam, try to block that stuff out.
How many games will Vinci win against Williams?
I think the under 6.
Under 6?
I'm making my under 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
That's your answer to everything, 4.5.
4.5 is a good number, I think. Yeah. 2 and 2, I'd take the under. I think 2 and 2 is a good bet.
Okay, well, we had some great games. We had some great temper tantrums. Great weather. Top day. Bye-bye.
We're all set, the whistle blows, and to roar we begin.
Well, the very first match that was played at this stadium in Murrayfield was 89 years ago, Scotland against England. Scotland won, and there was a time actually when more than 100,000 people used to pack giant terraces here. This famous stadium has seen some great moments. And Paul Grayson is actually commentating this afternoon for our colleagues on Radio 5 Live. Now you can see that we're down at pitch side, and if we go across the running track here, which is one of the idiosyncrasies of Murrayfield, up in our commentary box here on BBC Television are Brian Moore and Chris Patterson. Afternoon, guys, how are you?
Good afternoon. We're probably warmer and drier than you.
Yes, you are. Well, that's a very good point, Brian, because it's pouring with rain now, and this is not going to be an afternoon for the back.
Statoil, proud sponsor of the Statoil Masters Tennis.
Well, just before we have the doubles to round off the afternoon's entertainment on the court, we're going to hear a few more words from John McEnroe, because he's always worth listening to, being deliberately controversial or just suddenly throwing a pebble in the water and just seeing what ripples it makes. So here are his thoughts on a lot of issues about tennis and also life in general in an interview that he and I recorded yesterday afternoon.
Right, well, thank you very much, guys. Andy, it's another sort of a sad and rather desolate evening for Scottish rugby, but anyway, but from an English point of view, Jerry and Clive's...
Very good.
Clive's, yeah, nodding your head.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. This is a very exciting team.
All right, well, we will be with you in Paris tomorrow from 2:30, but as I say, if you have any contributions to make about Ireland today looking very impressive, from Wales, from Scotland, from England, give us a shout now on the forum or on the red button in 1 minute's time.
John, you're not averse to ruffling a few feathers now and again, either deliberately or just malevolently, but your comments about the future of doubles in Grand Slam tennis has attracted an awful lot of attention, because you did question whether in a few years' time there might not be any doubles events in Grand Slam tournaments. Was that a genuine thought, or were you just kind of just throwing it out there?
I think it was both. You know, I mean, I love doubles. I mean, doubles helped my singles and helped me become the player that I eventually did become.
You've dug yourself a very big hole there, but somehow you've dug yourself out just. Listen, well, here's to next year anyway.
John, good to see you, as always.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
No problem.